Hey, welcome back everyone. We are approaching the end of May, and as we get closer to the official release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show on May 27th, a lot of Star Wars fans around the world are also very excited for what Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas are all up to for the new Star Wars universe by reviving a lot of Star Wars legends in the mix, as well as bringing in a lot of unused material from, of course, Star Wars legends. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we are currently in a very exciting phase of Star Wars, with the Kenobi TV series approaching in just, a short while from now. We have a lot of things also happening with Mando Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano TV show, and more to arrive in the near future. Now, one thing that we do know is that Disney CEO Bob Chapek and Disney executives have been very busy with a lot of unannounced Star Wars shows that will be revealed at this year's and next year's Star Wars Celebration. That's going to be very important to really convince the fans that there's a lot of new Star Wars projects in the works that are going to be very true to the overall Legends lore, and exactly how Jon and Dave Filoni are going to be heavily involved with the majority of those shows. Even if they're not writing some of the series, they will actually have the power to call the shots on the direction of all of them. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with the fact that there are a lot of things happening with not just the Kenobi series and the Ahsoka Tano TV show, but with actor Pedro Pascal for, of course, the future of Star Wars after The Mandalorian Season 4. So, with that being said, however, what's really all the more intriguing has a lot to do with the character of Din Djarin and actor Karl Urban. As you all know, we've been discussing this for quite a while now, of what's been happening with the quote-unquote Bo-Katan TV show. Now, with the Ahsoka Tano series now filming, and with Favreau and Filoni gearing up for The Mandalorian Season 4, both Disney and Lucasfilm are also prepared to begin work on their announcements for the other new projects at this year's Star Wars Celebration event. However, it's noted that ever since Pedro Pascal was fired from the Bo-Katan series, and with actor Karl Urban taking over the role of Din Djarin for the new series that will be announced later this year, Pedro Pascal is said to be having a very tough time with what Disney recently did with Karl Urban for the new series. Now, since Pedro was let go for creating complications about the series and its direction for his character, such as being forced to wear the helmet, Pedro was promised very little screen time to begin with in the Bo-Katan series. Now, however, since Karl Urban joined the project to become Din Djarin, Disney granted Karl twice as much screen time compared to Pedro Pascal since he signed on for the series. Now, this is what is causing more tension between both Pedro and the Disney executives as of right now. Pedro so far is still attached to Mando Season 4 and other projects, however is now giving a full-on ultimatum on leaving the other Star Wars projects that are in the works to involve Din Djarin. Now, Pedro is already warning Disney that he may step down from the Ahsoka Tano series, where he is supposed to make a very important cameo to be filmed by this July. Now, let me just stop right there for 1 second. Now, the thing about Pedro Pascal really giving that ultimatum to Disney about stepping down from the Ahsoka Tano series as one of the big cameos, kind of similar to what they did in the Book of Boba Fett, that really does show a lot of how, problematic things are really beginning to get between Pedro and the Disney executives and all of the other higher-ups, and even the CEO, Bob Chapek. Now, the thing about the Bo-Katan show, we talked about this, alright? This is the only show so far that Pedro Pascal was fired from. That was the only show. So he's still attached to Mando Season 4 still. He's still attached to the Ahsoka Tano TV series. And that's the deal right now, is that Pedro is looking for a way to get out after those main Star Wars shows to not appear at all anymore about, playing the character of Din Djarin. So we already talked about this, of how basically the main problem is that he wants a lot of screen time, he doesn't want to wear the helmet all the time, but the real problematic situation right now is the fact that Disney actually gave Karl Urban double the amount of screen time for the Bo-Katan series ever since he joined, in comparison to what Pedro Pascal was promised, and Karl Urban is even getting some face time here and there, so without the helmet being on. Now, obviously, I think that's a good thing because, you know, who doesn't want to see, you know, a lot more action sequences involving Djarin? I think it's a very well-crafted character, so it's good that they doubled his screen time, and honestly, I don't have any problem with them doubling Karl Urban's screen time as Djarin, because he's actually playing by the rules. He's cooperating with exactly, you know, the vision that is being done by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They don't want to keep his helmet off too much. Pedro Pascal was demanding that his helmet should remain off for 80% of the series for his sequences in the movie, or the show, I should say. So, moving on from all of this, alright? Now, something that Pascal is now not supporting since Disney did what they did with Karl Urban by giving him far more screen time in the Bo-Katan series. Not just that, however, but Disney will also be giving Karl Urban some face time without the helmet on in the series. Nothing too significant, but he will have scenes without the helmet on for the new show that's currently in the works. Pedro Pascal wants to make sure that he is being treated fairly by Disney in comparison to how they are doing things with Karl Urban. So far, Pedro is said to have issues with Karl Urban right now for being rewarded by Disney, essentially, just for cooperating with them on his scenes to be used in the Bo-Katan show. This is also going to be a very delicate direction with Pedro, given that he is now willing to drop his role as Djarin altogether, as he feels betrayed by Disney for rewarding Karl Urban. Now, Urban, as of now, is set to begin filming his scenes sometime in 2023 for the Bo-Katan show, where Pedro, as of now, has been trying to negotiate with Disney's executives and CEO Bob Chapek on giving him the type of role he wants without having to use the helmet all the time. Pascal has been pushing Disney for a while now that he wants a very near similar treatment to what happened with Master Chief in the Halo TV show, where he got tons of screen time without the helmet. This is the main reason why Disney let him go from the Bo-Katan series in the first place. So keep that in mind, is that it's a very problematic situation between Karl, Pedro, and especially Bob Chapek. And when you look at it like that, in that light, you know, there are a lot of things happening at once, and it is creating some setbacks when it comes to the approach to the Bo-Katan series. But Karl Urban is indeed attached. It is going to be officially announced by this fall. It's going to be quite a big deal for a lot of Star Wars fans out there. I think that obviously Karl Urban is a better choice. I always said this right from the get-go, you know, that Karl Urban fits the character better. You know, I mean, we've seen him in a lot of great material like Judge Dredd, and, you know, he's been in the MCU and the Thor movies. I mean, he's got a lot of things coming. You know, he's in The Boys. There's a lot of things that Karl Urban is involved in, and he's only, you know, getting more and more roles. So, like I say, guys, you know, I think that at the end of the day, Disney made the right call to let go of Pedro Pascal for the Bo-Katan show, but whether or not they are going to let him go for other Star Wars shows, or if Pedro Pascal is going to leave before Disney gets to him, that's the biggest question of all. You know, it really is like a tight race right now when it comes to this. So, overall, guys, you know, let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.